Not yet started. Okay, started. So suppose if you have one resource group where Akshay was working and he created one subnet turned out 00024. So when you are creating some VNet, so you need to make sure everything you create, any machine, virtual machine or specific dedicated VNet, it do not lies in this area. It should be outside this VNet. So you can opt for another like 10.0.1.0 slash 24 or 10.0.2.0 slash 24. So it should not overlap. So if your subnet will overlap with some other subnet, there will be trouble. Second thing is when we are talking about VNet, so you define certain range 10.0.0.0 slash 24. Okay, or suppose it was 16.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're defining this as the VNet, so you need to show that your subnet like sub 1 and sub 2 should lie in this range, should not be outside this. So like 10.0.1.0 slash 24. 10.0.2.0 slash 24. So these both subnetworks lie in this VNet range. So if you are selecting some other like 10.1.0.0 slash 24, so it does not lie in this range. So it won't let you allow this subnet. Okay.
Okay.
And
Okay.
some, I mean, in short, I'm not explaining the subnet in detail, just
Mm-hmm.
a little idea about the subnet. So in general, when we are defining this subnet, so you will see mostly either 24 or 16 or 8. Mostly you will see these 24, 16, 8. So what does it mean? Those who are not much aware of the subnet. So if I'm talking about 24, so when it comes to IP addressing, it's divided into four section, four octets. Every octet is 8 bit. And these octets are separated by dot. So when you are looking into the IP address, it is something like 10.0.0.1. So they are separated by dot. In every octet, it's 2 ki power 8 number lies. So it's 2 ki power 8, 256, and 256 is starting from 0 to 255. And always remember, in general, about networking, we never use first, we never use last. So we can use 1 to 254. So 1 to 254, 1 to 254, 1 to 254, and 1 to 254. So it can be other 1, 2, 3 in the first octet and second octet and third octet and fourth octet. Okay, guys. So this is the second thing, 2 ki power 8. And when it comes to Azure, sorry, we there are three IP reserved. So what Azure do, they will reserve three additional IP. So if you are defining some subnet, I want to use only last octet. What does it mean? Three octets are will remain same. So if it is 1, 2, 3, so it will remain only 1, 2, 3, and last octet can change from 1 to 254. And since you cannot use 3 IP, so there will be only 254 minus 3, that will be 251 available IP address. So if you are defining, suppose you are defining a VNet with this, or choose a bigger VNet. So
So, Nikhil sir, in Azure, what are these three IPs reserved for? See, in general, if we talk about first one is for subnet, second one is for broadcast, a part from that, the these three
hello,
IPs are reserved by Azure.
you're not audible, Niharika. Hello. What about this? Can you hear Niharika?
No.
No, sir.
So voice is gone. It's look like.
Meanwhile, I have a query.
Yeah, sure.
So, these three addresses are reserved in the Azure, right? So,
Right.
uh, so /8 is reserved or /16 or 24?
I'm talking about three IP address, not complete range.
Okay.
Nikhil sir, sorry, I got disconnected in between. If you explain something,
Okay,
I
you are
very
saying
fast.
something. I mean, we missed you what you were saying in last.
So I was saying that you said that three IP addresses were reserved by Azure. So
Right,
what are these IP addresses used for? Because the 01 is for subnet, the 255 one is for broadcast. Apart from
right.
that, these three IP addresses are for what purpose?
Azure man Azure management purpose.
Okay.
So this they
And
save these IP address for the management purpose.
mhm.
That's it. So these
And
IPs will might be using by Azure at some point of time. That's
so
it.
are there any fixed IP addresses that are reserved or any random three?
So it's like when you are going building things on Azure, you won't see any option to assign IP address. So you were building VM, right? So did you
Correct?
find any option to statically assign any IP?
No,
No,
it
right?
was dynamic. Yep.
So that's the thing. So it depends upon the Azure. So initially when you will go, you will find three beginning IPs missing. So you will be starting from dot three,
Okay. So it's an inbuilt feature of Azure.
right?
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Bipin, you were saying something?
No. No, I think Atul said you are on mute.
Okay. Guys, anything else? Any questions? Or we should go ahead and further in this session?
So we have only class A address reserved, not class B and class C.
So you're still confused. So there is no reserved thing like /8, /16 or /24 or /25. There is no such reservation. Reservation is very simple. Suppose I have 10 dot. Oh, second thing is doesn't matter. It's Azure nowadays. It's completely CIDR, classless inter-domain routing. No one anymore uses normal class say IP classes anymore, right?
Right.
So, I mean, almost all the equipment and everything they follow CIDR. So the first thing there is no anything like class A, class B, or class C. So we are not using this pattern anymore. Not about Azure, it's general networking. We always use nowadays CIDR. And second thing is there no nothing reserved like /8, 16, 24. So they are not reserving any. This means complete complete subnet or complete VNet, right? So they are not reserving any class, any subnet in VNet. They are reserving only few IP address. Suppose you have certain /24. So that means 10.0.0.0 to 10.0.0.255, or I might have another 192.168.1.0 /24. So when it comes to 10 and 192 and /24, it's CIDR. Now there is no more classes like ABC. So over here as well, 192.168.1.0 up to 255. So Azure will randomly or initially they will start beginning three IP addresses as a reserved. over here as well, they will use 192.168.1.0 up to 0.123.2. So first IP will be assigned dot 3.
Mhm.
So am I clear now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we were discussing in the last class, it was VNet. So you create a VNet, a bigger network, virtual network. Inside VNet, you create small subnet. So inside VNet, there are two subnet. You can make n number of subnet depend upon the IP address range you select. Okay. So you inside every subnet there are network interface card. And what are these network interface card? It's the place where IP addresses are assigned. So for an example, you have laptop. So in order for your laptop to connect either to internet or to local LAN to another computer in the same network, it need a IP address to connect with other machines and devices. And these IP addresses are assigned on the network interface card. So there can be one network interface card, there can be other network interface card, like I'm talking about your laptop. So suppose you have one laptop. So you are using LAN, local area network, where you insert your cable and your laptop is connected to internet or local internet or in enterprise network, anything. Second, you connect with Wi-Fi. So in this case, there are two, one network NIC and second NIC. So in general, your laptop or your desktop has two network interface card. So when you will run the command CMD, if you will open CMD and run IP config slash all command. Let me show you that. So I opened a command prompt and I ran the command. Okay. So you can see my Ethernet adapter is my network interface.
The CMD prompt is not visible. We are still seeing that screen of
Okay,
the
just
previous
a
screen
second.
of yours.
Just a second. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
visible
sir.
now.
That's a general CMD prompt. Windows are and type CMD or you can directly type CMD. So if you'll run the command IP config slash all, so you can see that there are n number of adapters. So these are the Ethernet to network interface card. Just a second. So this one is the virtual box that I used to run on my machine. It has its own network interface card. I can assign or it's automatically took the IP address from my DSCP. Next is wireless adapter card or wireless LAN. So right now they don't have any IP. Next is network interface card is Ethernet. That's my LAN. So it took IP from my router. Next is this one. So right now I'm not connected to Wi-Fi. So if I will connect my laptop to Wi-Fi, there will be another Wi-Fi, and there will network interface card, and IP will be assigned on that network interface card. So let me connect my Wi-Fi and then show you. Okay, it's connected. I will run ipconfig/all again. So you can see that IP address is assigned on the Wi-Fi. So initially it's VNet, we create VNet. Inside VNet, we create subnets. And inside subnet, there can be any virtual machine. It could be Windows Linux server, it could be database server, it could be storage unit, it could be web server. For any web server, any storage, any VM, there should be, just like your laptop has in general two hardware NIC card. Those NIC cards are LAN card and Wi-Fi card. So you can create virtual NIC card. By default, there will be one. You can create two, one for public IP, one for private IP, or more. So you can create different NIC cards in order for users to connect for different services. So it's VNet, then subnet, and then you create machines. On over machine, you can create one or other NIC cards as well. On NIC card, network interface card, you assign IP address. Talking about IP addressing, Azure do have in their AZ10/4/4 on general a general little idea about the IP address. So there are two IP address, public. Second one is private. Few are not aware of these things. So public IP address is IP address that is routable over internet. Private IP address is just for your infra or for your premises. Since private IP address do repeat, so public IP address do not repeat. If this is my organization and I have bought some services, internet service, lease line, MPLS or something from any provider, they will give me one or more IP address as per our requirement and price and their offer. So they will give you IP address. There should be one public IP address or two or three or four, and you got connection, lease line, internet connection. Inside your premises, there could be 10.0.0.0 range. There is another company. This company can also have this private IP address 10.0.0, and it has public IP address, so they cannot have same public IP. Suppose this company has 1.3.13.1.1 IP address, so this another organization cannot have same public IP address. It will have another public IP address like 12.1.1.1 or some other range, and they can connect. I mean, if there are two users in this organization and two users in this organization, both users can connect each other using their public IP address. And the only difference how they are identified is by using net. So there is a concept of net or concept of pet. Mostly in general, pet is used where public IP and private IP and private they are converted using pet. Like suppose my private IP is 10.0.1 and this organization user might have the same IP. So they will convert this into 13.1.1, and inside its IP header they will insert a port number. So 30, suppose another port 1521 will be port number for this user. So packet will go through another organization, and when it will return, this machine or router will check the port number. Okay, this port number belong to this user, so it will transfer the packet to this user. That's the port address translation. And when traffic is going outside, it this user will send a request to this using its private IP, and it will add a port number. So so that when a return IP packet comes, this router will be able to identify where to send this packet. That is the reason why within a single organization we cannot have more than one overlapping. I mean, there shouldn't be any overlapping IP address, because normally we do not use PAT and we directly identify or resolve the IP address of the machines and all. So in that case, we need to make sure that our IP address do not overlap other. I mean, in that case, if IP address are overlapping, they won't be able to communicate. Any doubt in this? Or should
No,
I
sir.
go ahead? Okay, so what we discussed was the VNet part. We discussed about the subnet part. We discussed something about the NIC. Next is NSG. So what exactly is NSG? Network Security Group. So network security group. The purpose of network security group is to simplify the management of security rules. So it's like this is the NSG and it sits either outside of network interface card or subnet. So either you can place this network security group. It is just like firewall if you are aware of the concept of firewall. So it's not the firewall, but it do have some features of firewall. So what it does, it sits right behind, I mean, in front of any machine or subnet. So you have two options. Either you can choose both of them, or you can choose, okay, I want NSG just in front of my virtual machine, or I want NSG. I do not want any NSG in front of any virtual machine. I want NSG in front of this subnet. So this will be like this. So I'm going in depth right now. This is the full picture. VNet to subnet. This is the only subnet part, and you have virtual machines VMs running. So there are n number of VM running inside the subnet. So you have two options to place this NSG. I mean there are three options in actual. First one is you can place this NSG over here. Second option, you can place the NSG over here. Third option, you can choose both of them. So reason why I mean, there is third option, both of them, and mostly why there is different option like placing over one over the second or third. The reason is that if you are using this common, there will be lot of rules. I will discuss rules later. So there will be lot of rules, and you need to manage all rules. So if you want to simplify your management, or you want to restrict something in different manner and restrict other thing in different manner, so you can choose either individual NSG or NSG placed over the subnet. And what NSG does, basically NSG does only one thing. It is the decision maker either to accept packet or deny. It's a switch, logical switch. It sits over subnet or VM. Your packet will come either from inside from any virtual machine. So this was the virtual machine and this NSG was placed on the subnet, this option. So this is the VM1, VM2, VM3. This NSG was placed on subnet 1. Okay. So suppose any packet, IP packet, comes from outside to inside. So what NSG will do? It will do just like firewall. It will check source IP from where this came, destination IP where it has to go. For an example, it has to go to VM2. So it will check for the destination IP. Next, it will check for the source port. So for an example, for SSH, if you want to SSH into any device, port 22 is used. If you want to use FTP, port 21 is used. Even for transferring, there's SCP, port 22 is used. For remote RDP, remote desktop connection, it used 3389. So these are the some general port we use in our daily life or while we are working on different platforms. So these are the some of the general. So SMB use port 444. I think it's 45 or 445. It use 445 port. These are the general port they are being used in general other than firewall part, or if you are into Windows administration, or if you are into the network administration part, even if you are in the security core security part, you still need to make sure what port traffic goes or comes. So it will check for the source port from where it came. It will check from the destination port where it has to go. Next, it will check the protocol. So there TCP or UDP. So if you are not aware of this protocol, transmission control protocol, user data protocol, it is connection based. So it perform three-way handshake. Suppose there is one client over here and there is one server or client over here. So it will request for the sync. Then this machine will reply with the acknowledgement that I received your sync and I am sending my sync. And this machine will perform acknowledgement that I have received your sync request and I'm acknowledging this. And once this three-way handshake is performed, then only packets or data transfer or communication can exist between this. So such type of protocol is TCP, which is connection based. Second is UDP, connectionless. Suppose you are video streaming something from your laptop to from any YouTube server. So if you it will rely on the TCP part. If some packet comes late or delay or something, so your audio and video will be something like oh, अच्छा ठीक है, something like that. It will be mixed. So it will take some time, or there will be latency like oh ठीक है मैं कर रहा था, something like that. So there will be delay. So in order to avoid delay, and if you want fast response, even if we can afford the packet loss or something, so second method is connectionless. So these are the two protocol being used. So it will check which protocol is included in the IP header, and once it will analyze, I mean it will look into all these detail, and then it will look into NSG's database. So it create database for source port, destination port, protocol and all. And there is one condition: allow or deny. Should I allow this packet go through this NSG to VM or not? If its rules say allow, then it will let this packet go through the VM. If this rule says do not allow, this packet will be dropped over here. So there won't be any communication from a user sitting at any location to the virtual machine. Similar thing happen with the inside as well. Suppose this VM has to communicate with another server sitting at remote location or any other location. So packet will go through NSG and it will look into its rule and database, and then will decide should this packet go from inside to this machine or not. So either it's yes or no, accept or deny, allow or deny. So either it will allow or it will deny. If it's allow, packet will go through this. If it won't allow, it will drop. That means inbound. So packet coming from outside to inside is inbound in general. Because if you are looking from here, this is the outbound. No, and this is the inbound. So this is how you are looking from here. It's inbound, and packet going from to outside it will be outbound. So let me show you this NSG, how rules are defined and how you follow these rules. I will logging into the Azure and we'll show how this works. Then we'll discuss on this. So this is the portal, and I will go to any virtual machine that exists in this instead of wasting our time on building new machine. So I was talking about the NSG. So when you create a VM, virtual machine, and you are not specifying or you are using the default setting create, I mean review and create, automatically it will assign a NSG for you. You will never know until unless you check all the options that NSG is assigned. So I will look into the existing virtual machine if there is any. Okay, there is one. So you can see there is one NSG, that is test one NSG, that was automatically assigned to this virtual machine. Because when you are creating a virtual machine and if you are not unchecking the NSG option, it will assign create NSG for you. So this is the by default NSG, and these are the rules. So initially when you are creating any NSG, there are certain pre-built rule. You do not define these rules. So this rule says allow VNet inbound. That means allow anything that uh, reside inside your virtual network. So if you'll see in more detail, it says any port, any protocol, and here's the picture from your virtual network. So if we have virtual network and there are two sub network. So by default, your NSG rule will say, okay, if my virtual machine has two subnet, sub one, sub two, and there is common virtual network, so they lie inside this virtual network. So let these machine communicate, any machine inside sub 1 or sub 2. So that is by default rule. You can opt to choose any rule or delete any rules. So these are the by default rule. You can delete it or you can place any high rule above this to block this rule. Second is Azure load balancer. These are the default rule that comes with the NSG part. So it says if any packet is coming from any port, any protocol, and it is coming from the Azure load balancer. So this means the load balancer that is inside this virtual network, not outside. So if it is coming from the any load balancer that is inside the virtual network, please for any destination allow it. Do not deny it. And the last one is for all other traffic. Any deny. So this is how things work. It will start looking from top to bottom. So any rule that is, this is 65,000. Any rule that is have priority 100 will be looked first, and if it matches with this rule, this cursor won't go any further down. So rule matches. Suppose I had 10 rules, 100, 200, 301, 500, and these three default rules: 65,000, 65,001, 65,500. So mark my cursor will start from the top. It will look at 100. Okay, does this rule matches with our packet source address port protocol? If yes, if it is yes or no. So this rule can be yes, allow, or this rule can be deny. You can see over here. It says allow or deny. So I can choose to allow or deny rule 100 or 200 or 301. That is up to me. So suppose I am, for an example, I did a blunder. I selected any, everything with any, and deny S100. And in the bottom, there are n number of rules that allow from one destination to another destination, one protocol to another protocol. So there is one packet coming inside my subnet or my for my machine towards my machine that does matches rule 500 that says from IP 10.1.1 to 20.1.1 and protocol TCP and everything matches. So even if this packet is coming towards NSG and it matches the rule 500, but cursor will start looking from the top. So if first rule is match and it says deny all, so packet will be dropped. It won't look any further below to match the rule. And if second rule is matched, it will allow or deny. It depends on cursor is how cursor is moving. And if, at the end, if no rule is matched, by default, it's deny. So packet will be denied.
Sir, as you said, hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. So if the first app 100, if that is not matched, then what will happen?
Okay. Mm, Let me come to the screen.
So basically, what I'm trying to know, like,
Yeah, I
if
got.
first step is not matched, then it will go further or it will stop.
Just give me a second. So there were three, one and two, and there are a few more rows, or 10 or 100 or 200, something like that. Suppose a packet is coming towards this subnet and it says this packet I mean coming from source 10.0.0.1, or it says no, it is not coming from any private IP, it is coming from public IP or internet. So they can be any IP address. So it will start looking from the top. So first it will check 100. If it does match, either accept or deny. So this rule doesn't give proper insight. So it will go to second option. We'll check if this give any insight about what to do, accept or deny. Then it will go for the third one. Similarly, one by one, it will check every options. And the last, if nothing matches, it will drop the packet. That's how it goes. Am I
Okay,
clear?
and if anyone matches, like accept.
It's just you are, you have a gun.
Okay.
Suppose you have a gun, firing gun, and you are controlling this gun, and there are balloons from top to bottom.
Mhm.
You have 5 bullets, and it's very simple. try hitting bullet one by one. So you have to try for this one, and if you lose, this balloon is removed. Then this balloon, if this is you are not able to hit this balloon, this is removed. Then it
Okay.
will you move to this one, and once any balloon you hit, it, I mean the owner of this gun will take gun from you.
Mhm.
So once any of the rule matches, that's the end. So it's either allow or deny, accept or deny. So either if at the end of this gun you are not able to hit any of this balloon, you will
Mhm.
go get no prize or no punishment. So allow is prize, deny is punishment. That's the thing. So you have to match one of these rule.
So,
Am I
Nikhil,
clear?
I have a question. I might be confused a bit, but see, if a packet is coming in, it will either match the rule or it will not match the rule.
Right.
If it matches, it will accept. If it does not matches, it will deny. So, in what
No.
scenarios it
No,
would
no, no,
not?
no, 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 no. Either it matches
Mm-hmm.
or do not matches.
Correct.
I never said accept or deny. Match or do not match is one thing. Accept,
Mhm.
allow, or deny is second thing. Don't be confused with this. Packet comes over here, either
Mm-hmm.
it matches or deny. No, it's not like that. If packet is coming, either it matches or do not match. If it
Mm-hmm.
matches, there will be decision. Allow
Okay.
or deny. If it does not match, it will go to next one.
Okay. Okay.
Button. So it will go one by one from top to down. So this allow or deny is common platform. Okay. So first you have to go through these criteria. You match, then you can go to the next step of allow or deny. If you do not match, you won't go further. You will go to next step. If you matches this, then you can go for the decision. If you do not matches this, you have to go further.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, sir. And these 100, 200, 500, these are all IP
These are
in
random
this
numbers.
example.
These are random
Random
numbers.
numbers. Okay.
Right. So max up to 65500 that you can choose. This is the last. You can go above this. So from I think it's 1 to up to 6550. You can choose any number. Okay, and if you are choosing a lower value number, the rule will place at the top. So if they are you are creating a rule of 100 in this, so it will automatically sit at top, and 100 number is less but its priority is high. That's the concept. So I can give you a simple example from this virtual machine. I can demo you. Okay, let me check this virtual machine, how this is configured. Then I will give you a demo. Okay, I'll go to source group, Vishesh. We have VNet, we have hard disk, we have network interface, we have inbuilt NSG, we have public IP. Okay, and we have machine. So first I will try RDP into this machine and we'll check. This is the public IP. I think this machine isn't running right now. So let me start this machine first. So I will try remote desktop into this machine. So when I'm trying to remote desktop into this machine, What I'm saying, it's starting and initiating and I failed. So there could be true condition first. It's not started yet. So I just started this VM and it's still in boot phase. I'm unable to RDP. Or there could be second thing that I need to check from networking. So if you'll see the rule, this is the my virtual machine and packet. This is my laptop. I'm trying to RDP into this laptop. So database base will be verified. So first rule says do not match because there is no protocol of port 3389. Second, nothing. Third, nothing. So I will be by default denied. So I will go to NSG. These are the rule. I will add additional rule into inbound security. So I'm adding rule to the NSG. Source any, or I can choose my machine. Let me choose my machine first. My IP address is, so IP address for my machine. Give me a second. What is my IP? Okay, my IP address is this 103.82.148.117. So I will say I want to filter it on the basis of IP address. I can select IP address or complete range. So I selected my IP address. I will say source port any, doesn't matter from which port I am sending the packet. Destination, I can select this particular machine or I can let it any. So if I want my communication only for this specific machine, I can go for either selecting IP address of this machine or I can select the virtual network. So I will select any as of now. Port I needed for the remote desktop is 3389. Protocol will be TCP or I can choose any of them. If I just want it is specific for the 3389 RDB, I can select TCP. Action, I want this packet to reach virtual machine my packet. So action allow 100. Priority I can set any. I can set 210 or anything. So it will let me choose, like if I'm choosing 100, it will it will give me priority like Microsoft only allow these priorities. So it will give me the option if I'm inputting the correct one or not. So I selected 210. I can give any name like RDP. I can give any description. I mean, in future there are hundred and thousand of rules, and if I want to check, I mean, what was the purpose of creating this rule? I can add the description in the beginning so that for the future reference there is something to check. I will add this rule, and this is the inbound security rules. That means inbound to VM. So this packet will be coming inbound, and I will be the person who will be sending this machine. I created this rule. Now I will try RDP again and we'll check if this is into effect. Sometimes it do take some time to take NSG into the effect. So it does, I mean, it is allowing me to log in. I mean, I didn't created this account. So Vishesh, you created this, right? Hello.
I created one, but not sure why it's showing as Vijay Pandey.
No, no, that's not
Just
Vishesh
a
man.
minute.
It's my login. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
ignore
Yes,
this.
yes. I created one maybe a few days back.
Yeah. So you can see I am able to create login. Sorry, logging. I mean, going into the login prompt. So, I mean, I'm not sure what the credential for this machine. You might be knowing Vishesh, right? You can type it.
the user ID and the password, right?
Right. Either you can type it or let me
I
give you
can ping it.
control.
No, no,
Yeah,
just
I can give control to you.
the same credential which you send in WhatsApp, right?
Mm, I mean, it was the same, right?
Yes, yes. Just a
You
second.
can WhatsApp me now. I will just check it.
I just sent to you.
And what about the username?
She's new. I think that the name.
I mean, this was the username for the machine, right?
Yes, yes. H is missing, Nikhil. The
Yeah.
username.
No, I think username is incorrect.
Try Vishesh new.
Hmm. Okay, I mean, it doesn't matter. Still, I'm able to connect to this machine. That's the thing. So if I will stop this, and since this is specific for my IP, any one of you can try RDP and it should fail. So Vishesh, you can try RDP and let me know if you are going up to password prompt or not.
Which one? This IP, right? 103.82.
No, that's my IP. You have to go to the test machine IP. That will be just a second. Public IP 1371.43.218. Anyone can try RDP into this machine. Let me know if you're able to.
Okay, I'm trying.
By default, you won't be asked for password, entering your password, because I have created NSG only for my machine.
It's not allowing it. Saying you remove
Yeah,
most of
it's
the.
not the reason it's not allowing is you can see from the NSG virtual machine
It's
network.
allowing.
It's allowing you, Niharika.
No, it's not.
Right. The reason is the NSG part. So it clearly says source will be me and port for RDP. So only I will be able to log in. So if I will change this to any other IP address, so I will select any, you all will be able to RDP. So let me save the any part. So it's updated. Now you can try and you will get up to the password prompt. Meanwhile, let me create another machine. You can try and let me know if you are able to get up to the password prompt or not.
It's still not allowing.
It might take a little to take password, I mean rule into effect.
Okay.
Yes, now it's asking for the password.
Okay, that's the thing. Yeah, okay, you can try it again. And
Yes.
others, you can
Yeah,
try as
I'm.
well.
Yep, it took me the password prompt now.
Okay. So am I clear on NSG part?
Yes, sir.
What about this? I cannot hear in any other voice.
Yes, it's clear.
Vipin, Atul. Vipin, Atul, are you there?
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
clear.
yeah.
So I'm clear on this, right?
निखिल एक query है
Yeah, sure.
बताया कि टॉप टू बॉटम फॉलो करते राइट तो सपोज आपने पहला एग्जांपल लिया था जहां आपने कहा कि यू हैव सेट लाइक everything to deny like for the first rule you put any to block status तो
Right.
अगर वो हर स्टेप पे जा ही रहा है बार बार से तो टॉप टू बॉटम का लॉजिक क्या
No, no,
होगा
no, no. Thing is very clear. Suppose at 100 I placed a rule that says any for everything deny, right? And a packet came. I told you that, I mean, when Nihaika was confused, I gave you the option. Explained it like that. So there are rules, and it says rule 1, 2, 3, 4, match or no match, match or no match, match or no match. So it's like flowchart. If it matches, it will go to the next step. If it doesn't matches, it will go to next rule.
ओके
So when I place any, it does matched, right? So anything lies into the any. So it
ओके
matched, then it moved to allow or deny. And since this rule says deny, it will deny the packet, drop the packet. So when packet is dropped, it won't go any further bottom.
ओके ओके
Okay. So it's like when you will go for exam, they actually will give you scenario like there's one office in Seattle, there is another office in New York. They will give you public IP of Seattle and private IP. They will give you public and private IP of New York, and they will give you a scenario like there is some user and he's trying to communicate for the New York office and user IP address is this, or this user is belong to Seattle office, but he is sitting outside Seattle office and not connected to VPN and public IP 13 dot is something. So communication, I mean, as per this scenario, this Seattle public and private IP can communicate. But Seattle user is sitting outside, it has different public IP. So even though it's a Seattle user, it will if it will try to connect to in New York, it will fail. And the reason is very simple. Even though it's a Seattle user, it is connecting through a random public IP from his home internet or any general Wi-Fi sitting at the cafe or somewhere else. And since this IP is not in the NSG list, it will drop this packet. And if this user is connected to the on-premises VPN through VPN, and this user has got the public IP, sorry, private IP of Seattle office, then he can communicate. He'll go to Seattle, and then from Seattle he can go to New York. Okay. So guys, that's all for today. And what you have to do is, so I mean, I was initially being those who have joined late, I was discussing about few changes from next weekend onwards. So first, like I told you about the AZ900 free coupon. So how you can get this free coupon by joining 2-day event. These events are, I mean, seats are filled very quickly. So once events are generated, I will look into my portal, trainer portal, and then I will immediately every weekend will update you if there is any available seat or available event. So if there is any available event, you can register and attend. I mean, it's not necessary you remain active. If you do not have any time, just log in and join and leave it like that, because we are already covering things over here. So you, if you are attending, it will benefit for you. You will get some additional knowledge and all they will be covering. If you do not attend, it's okay. You can still get AZ 900 coupon for AZ 900 exam for free. So I will look into this thing and will regularly update you about the events, fundamental event, Azure fundamental events. Second thing, few changes. So I will, there are as of now two WhatsApp group running, and there are some active members and there are some inactive members. So even if you don't miss a class, it class two, class three, class, it doesn't matter. I will merge both of them into one common WhatsApp group, and every weekend or on somewhere in between the week, I will give you some lab or something for the practice purpose. So I will provide you like, okay, this week you have to do this perform lab and you have to reply on the WhatsApp group that I have done this lab. So I will give you a scenario or something in general, and you go to portal, you have access to the portal, and when this access, I mean the subscription will end, I will provide you an additional login. So username, your username will be same, and when there is another portal, your password will be reset to password at the rate 1234 or Ericsson at the rate 1234. So you need to change the password. That's it. So you perform this lab and you need to make sure before coming to this class you have performed this lab. The reason why I'm making, I mean, this thing changes is I want you to be active. So if you miss some class, you can check the recording or you can ask me. I will give a, I mean, be in short 10 to 15 minutes session in order to cover some basics, but still you need to refer this recording. Refer the recording, practice the lab. So once you are going through this process, I mean, there will be clear visibility where you are going. As of now, we are randoming, I mean, one by one covering the topic. Some of you are learning, some of you are skipping, and it's all mix and match. So do refer the recording, and I will give you a practice lab. And over WhatsApp, once you are done, do reply me that I have okay, I have performed this lab. I'm done. So I'm clear that okay, these guys are clear on this topic. These guys are either not clear or they have some doubt. So when I know that you have doubt, I can directly reach you. Or I can ask you, and I can clear your doubt. If you are having any trouble, I will be aware of that. So I will personally, I will make sure that you do perform and you have clear picture on what's going on. So this was the another change. Or one more thing, I'm going to structure these classes in a particular way, and I'm going to create some portal for the test or exam as well. So for this, I might need assistance from one of you, one or two of you. So then they will help me in structuring this and preparing quiz and all. So I will, I mean, those who are interested, let me know. So I will provide you raw data and all, and we'll discuss how to structure these things. Okay, guys, and there are a few more important, I mean, improvement that I'm going, I mean, preparing, and once I'm ready, I will let you know. So I need to make sure that our target is at max Jan end. I want to make sure at the, I mean, within January and Jan end, you are ready for giving exam, or you are, I mean, one of these at least. You are ready to work on real project. These are the small and bits and pieces, like we are learning VNet, it's a small bit and piece. We are learning virtual machine bits and piece. Few, I mean, in coming future, we are going to learn app services, creating website. These are bits and pieces of learning. And what I want, if you will be quick enough and you are performing lab and you are structured with me, alignment with me, structured with me, and in the beginning of the fab, either you can go for preparing the exam and you can give the exam the way you want, or we will start one real project to mixing or matching these bits and pieces and starting working. Okay, guys,
Yeah, that would be
Okay,
great.
sir.
that would be better, right? And we are much aware where are we going with this.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so ending session for today, and you always know my number and can reach out to me at any point of time if you have any issues, right? Okay, guys,
Yep.
see you
Thank you, sir.
next week.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye
Okay,
bye.
thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.